Hey, what's up everybody? Joe Simpson here. Happy Sunday. It's been a good weekend. I got something in the mail on Friday I was really excited about. We'll talk about that in a second. And I went out fishing Saturday. It was not that great. Pat and I caught a fish apiece and kind of worked hard to get there. And then Sunday we saw a little pond that we wanted to get to. And every time I passed by it, I'm like, yeah, we need to stop there and fish. So Saturday, after we got beat up pretty good on the boat, we packed the boat up, came over in the truck, and we came back over and we fished this little pond, and we each caught, I think he caught 2 frogfish, I caught 1. But the thing is, we could only get to one side of the bank, and I told him, I said, you know, it'd be nice if we could come back with the boat and go in this pond and get back to the areas, because you know they're not fished. So we did that on Sunday. It was a lot of fun, and we locked up on a grass mat that was about 40 feet round, and I think we pulled 7 or 8 fish out of that grass mat with our frogs. It was awesome. So I'm going to play that footage in a little bit. What I wanted to talk about first was the DC reels. So currently right now in the sub 300 price range, you have the SLX DC, you have the Curado DC, and you have the Scorpion DC. And those are all digitally controlled reels, meaning that when you cast it, it fires up a microprocessor and it sits there and calculates the casting dynamics about 1,000 times a second, or however much it does, and then it's supposed to control your rate of flow and spin on your brakes to help your cast. So it's supposed to automate the casting with the bait caster, so to speak, or to make it much easier and simpler. And it's supposed to make you more versatile with your casting across different types of fishing line, and I think all of them do that. There's more expensive DC reels, but for today I'm just going to talk about the 3 that are under 300 bucks and which one I think you should buy if you were to get one and why. So this is the DC 150. It's pretty well known as my line comes shooting off of it. It has a nice silver finish on it. It's really well built, and it's got what's called the micro gears, or I think it's micro gears. And that's just where you have like a lot of little teeth instead of a fewer amount of bigger teeth for your gears. So that helps the strength and the feel and the smoothness of the reel. And I really like this reel a lot. I used it quite a bit here in the last year, but I've only thrown mono and fluoro on this reel. And the reason I throw those 2 lines is because those are typically more difficult for me to throw on a normal bait caster. So I thought, well, I'll put the more difficult lines on the bait caster that's supposed to make casting easier. I've enjoyed the DC Curado over the last year, but I've yet to throw braid on it. So I don't really know how it responds and acts with braid. Now I see a lot of people casting this thing and they say, look, I can throw it all the way out here, the lure hits the water, and no extra line goes off of the spool. I think the first thing you should do is learn how to throw a bait caster in general, even if it's just to some lower level degree, and then you can get into these other rods and reels. But what it really does for me is it takes the variables out, like when you're casting into the wind, when you're casting lighter or different weights of lures on the same rod, any type of change that would normally throw you off or have to make you reset your reel. These take some of the guesswork out of it, and it makes it really nice. It makes you a little bit more efficient and a little more streamlined on the water, so you're not messing around with stuff as much. But I don't think it's the end-all be-all. You never have to think about casting ever again. The DC Curado only has 4 settings. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, 1 is open, 2 is braid, 3 is fluoro, and 4 is like skipping and more difficult casting or high wind. You set those right here with this wheel, and you basically spin this wheel back and forth to position 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on your casting type. Nowhere in the settings for the DC can you actually change for the line type, even though some people say, number 1 is open, number 2 should be for braid, number 3 should be for fluoro or mono, and number 4 should be, whatever. So people try to correlate a line type to the number, but really I just use the number to get my braking to the point where I want it for whatever lure that I'm throwing and whatever conditions I'm throwing in. So it's more of a conditional thing for me. So the Scorpion DC is a little bit different. You can actually take this side plate off. So there's on this wheel right here, it's similar to the DC Curado, but it has an A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and open. So there's more positions. The A is automatic. Then it has a setting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your brake tensioning or your brake amount. And then open lets you open the side plate. So let's take a look inside. Once you open your side plate and you take the cover plate off, you'll see here there's 3 positions. There's F, PE, and N. The F is for fluoro, PE is for braid, and N, I think, is for mono. So you have 3 different line types you can set to. I think that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there watching this that might know better, but I think that's how it's set up. Once you put your side plate back on and you close the door, you then have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then there's an A. So if you look right there, right here, there's a letter A, and that's automatic. So what I like about the Scorpion better than the Curado is you pick your line type, and then you basically are adjusting your brakes to the weight of the lure. So there's a little bit more adjustment going on with this, and I noticed that this has a better capability of stopping that spool than the Curado does. So I can take these out in the yard, set them up exactly the same way with the exact same line type, and I can throw the Curado real hard, and it'll hit, and it'll actually backlash just a little bit. Nothing that I can't pick out or clean up. But when I do it with the Scorpion, it literally just kind of stops, and your line is like really clean. It's easy to just start from that point on. So when I'm out fishing and I'm fishing in high winds, or if I lose track of what I'm doing, or just do something goofy, the Scorpion seems to save more casts than the Curado does. But I'm pretty good at casting a bait caster anyway, so when it comes to the reels, I don't need them to save my casting as much as I just like to use them for different conditions and be able to be more versatile with my fishing. So all that said, let's get out on the water. I'm going to show you some casting with the Scorpion. My vote is to get the Scorpion if you're going to pick between the 3. If you have a budget up to $300, get the Scorpion. I think of the 3, it's the best. I think the SLX and the Curado are synonymous in performance. I think the Curado is a better build, but if you really want to go budget under $200, the SLX at $180 is a steal. But if you're picking between the 3,
the answer to your calculation is 185.
I said nothing to Alexa right there. I would go with the Scorpion. It's a little more pricey. Now, just so you know, I didn't just go spend $285 on a Scorpion reel. I had some Amazon credits from my YouTube sales, so I had about $250 to throw towards the Scorpion. So the Scorpion cost me about $60 total with shipping and everything. So I wasn't just blowing cash, but I do like it a lot. I used it. I'll show you some casts and then check out some of the catches that me and Pat got. You guys have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you this week. All right, guys, so as I'm waiting for Pat to pull up, I wanted to talk a little bit about this new Scorpion DC that I just picked up. I think this is a pretty kicking reel. Look at that glittering in the sun. It looks a lot like the Royal Legend Elite, or the Royal Legend Elite looks a lot like this. A lot smaller than the DC 150 Curado, more palmable. But I usually run it at about 2 on the braid setting, and it's getting some bombalicious casts. I guess since we're here, I can do a little Scorpion talk. All right, so I'm on 2. I got this, what would you say this thing weighs? Half?
Maybe
3/8 to a ½ ounce. And I got a pretty good headwind. I'm on, let's see, let's go all the way up to 4, which is skipping. And you say you had good luck with A, auto?
Auto was really the whole time. I think that's really.
All right, so I'll throw it right into the wind with auto and see if I can let it drop. Pretty good throw. That's not bad. Actually, it's pretty darn good. Didn't backlash too bad at all. It overrolled maybe three turns, and that's into the wind. All right, now we rolled a 4, which is probably more brake than auto.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And let's throw it right into the wind. Do it. And I would almost, it's probably overspun 3 rotations again. And I'm throwing kind of lateral to the wind now on 4. Decent cast. Oh, and it stopped 100%. I mean, like 0. Just no backlash whatsoever. All right, let's back down to 3. All right, a lot more overrun there, but not much, about 3 turns. Seemed like it tried to grab it there at the end. All right, cast with the wind. I'm on number, what am I on, 3? Yeah, number 3. Seeing for overrun. hardly any. It's crazy, man, how that works. Maybe. Going to number 2. This is where I think I pick up distance. I'm with the wind. Man, still not that bad on overrun. Maybe 2 turns, 3 turns past, but it really went, I'd say, 15 to 20 feet farther that time. Yeah, it's really good. All right, so let's go number 1. This is where we'll probably get into some trouble, but we're with the wind, so that might help. And let's see how it casts. Okay, it's going like 100 zillion miles, and honestly, that wasn't bad. It was one spin too much. Just threw like half the line off my reel just now. But yeah, it does really good. This is something you could definitely hand a novice and say, don't cast real hard, just use this.
Right.
So I would say with this weight of lure, with this setting, I would probably just go with a number 2 just to keep myself out of trouble. Maybe a number 1 just to get distance if I was, you know, I think if you were willing to fish this like a normal reel, you could fish number 1 pretty constantly, as long as you're thumbing. But if you don't want to thumb a whole lot, you go 2 or 3. And if you want to skip or hit the wind, I think 4. And then if you don't want to think about anything, auto's your way. I don't know what it is, but something's in that grass. And it was big enough to move it. Oh my God, did you see that? Oh, it missed it completely, but I'm back in, man. I told you there's something over there. That was nice. That was nice. Good fish. Did you like that? Yeah, that was a beaver, right? All right, good fish. It's a 1.25 pounds. Healthy. All right. Gonna throw him way past the weeds. I just don't want him disturbing our area. Hey, you gonna pay attention? Yo! What's he doing? Is he dying? He does not look well. Poor guy. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Don't worry, I'll just leave you alone, bro. You do you. What's up, everybody? So, Pat and I are going to put a boat in here. I don't know if you guys can see it this morning this early, but not a very big pond. It's not posted. Doesn't say no boating, no fishing. At least not where I'm standing. But you know how that goes. We're probably breaking some rule somewhere. But I figure it's not that bad of a crime. It's just fishing.
Damn, that guy came from and just wasted.
Did he?
Oh my God, yeah, they're like a freaking, like a Mack
Freight
truck.
train?
Yep.
Good fish.
Like a fucking Mack truck. I thought he was 3 feet away.
Where'd he come out of? Okay, gotcha. Nice. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm good. I got off you.
You're good. Just that.
There you go.
Have him?
A little one.
Yeah, I think they're just sitting on top of that.
He came out aggressive.
Yep.
Like his whole body came out.
Yeah. Exact same thing as the last hit that I had.
Whole entire body was dark. Waiting for the big one, the big daddy to jump. Okay. That was the bigger one.
God.
There we go. That's nice. Good fish.
Nice.
Got your line. Got your line. There we go. Not terrible.
No, man. That just tells us something. That's 2 of them out of that grass.
And a few hits.
Okay.
There we go. That's what we want.
We should focus on that.
Oh,
That was a good fish there, man.
he missed. I'm going back in. He didn't even touch it. Yeah, that was another 1.25 pounds. I would keep coming through here, man.
I was letting you take it.
Go ahead. Just
I was gonna go right over your spot.
okay.
Got him. Oh.
Too much. I think they're in there. I think there's a few in there, man. There you go. You got them. Give you some counter. There you go. Woohoo! Frog fishing, baby. Oh shit!
Did you have a fish?
Yeah, I'm sitting here spinning around, and
Come on.
no. I'm spinning around. I look back and I see all this commotion. I didn't even hear it. Did you hear it?
No, I just heard.
All right, there. Let's keep going in there. I'll start in from the right and work in.
Okay.
Let's see how many we can pull out of this bunch. I think they're all held up in this shit. It's perfect because it's a little deeper. It's great cover. And I was just sitting. I might have been dragging it. Yeah, but the one that hit me and I let him go, like too long. Ooh, there was one right there.
That's a good sign or not. Oh, that was epic.
Right at the boat.
Completely dolphined you, man. Oh, damn. I got one just reeling
Ow,
across
ow,
the
ow, ow. This one got me.
back. Reeling in.
We just doubled up, baby. That's the first double frogfish I think ever. We got a
fish, man.
tip to that one. That's a good one. Yeah, baby. How many fish are in there, man? I mean, it ain't the same one, right?
No, definitely.
There you go.
And I just let it sit. Didn't move it at all.
There you go.
Did you see that? Just
Yeah,
let it sit.
I saw it just boil up. Nice. Good play. Let's do it. One more for the Gipper. I guess we'll go slow this time, maybe. That's what they want. You got drag coming my way. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, nice fish.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. Just one more.
Absolutely.
Probably my, well, about average. Solid, man. We're due, man. We've had kind of a mediocre run. Woo. Yep. Oh, you go. You're down. Did you see it?
Yeah,
He sucked you down.
I turned away just for a second.
Look, I was watching you. I spotted you, man. Oh, you spooked another one. All right. This has been a good day. Oops, sorry. Wrong way.
Got him.
Dude, how many have we pulled out of here? Like 10?
That's a good fish there.
He choked it too.
That's a good fish there too.
Oh, come on, boy. They're all about average. I mean, they're all 1.25 pounds. He's a pliers guy. I got him right in the roof of the mouth. He ate the whole thing, man.
Choked it all. And
Yeah. Let me get a good YouTube. This is a good thumbnail shot. They're choking them today, baby. There we go. There we go, bro. I think that's my fish of the day right there. Well, they're all about the same. A good healthy pound and a half, pound and 3/4.
They're all the same size.
Yeah.
It's like school.
Some fight harder than others, that's for sure.